How are you?
Oh, dude,
This guy.
I'm just so fired up, man. Got some baseball tonight. Just got a whole thing of Crackle over in my freezer. Crackle. Gonna have myself a weekend, baby. Let's go D-backs and data, baby. Take that ugly ass powder blue hat off and you wear that purple like a good Arizona guy. My D-backs, that's right, my D-backs that are in the World Series, and all of you who are sitting around pretending they didn't belong here, I've been saying it all along. I was the only one. Boom! D-backs, baby.
Victory left. My gosh, absolutely. What did you see with the D-backs that you thought they could do this?
I thought offensively they had so many ways to beat you. I think this is actually, believe it or not, a team. Only thing that worried about me was going to be their arms. I was worried about their starting pitching going that far into October. But it's the exact same problem that we're seeing over on the Texas side. What good thing about the D-backs? Their bullpen has been just a shutdown bullpen. Obviously, Fott has been amazing when he's been in there. And amazingly, the one starter that so far hasn't really pulled his weight is Zach Gallen, who was the odds-on favorite for the Cy Young all season long until he kind of started faltering in September and now into October. Now, he is aware that he hasn't pitched all that well. You heard his comments earlier today. You might have. Listen, I am a big fan of this guy. I'm a big fan of this team. They are underdogs. I already jump on the plus 145 on them on the series. I think they're going to win in 6 games. I'll freely admit a lot of this has to do with my heart. A lot of it has to do with my heart, because if you are looking at the numbers say the Rangers should win. Said that about the Phillies and the Dodgers and the Brewers too, though, didn't it?
They did. They did say that. What they're also saying, C-Deck, by the way, you look amazing. The beard looks in impeccable condition, and you really look like you're working out in the gym too. Everything's all put together on that shirt. I really like it.
I dabble.
Yeah, a little bit. What do you expect from Max Scherzer? Because I think that's a lot of the key to the series. We get Gallen and Eovaldi 1. We get probably Kelly and Montgomery in 2. And then it's 3. The way it lines up is probably Fott and Max in Arizona.
Yep.
That could be the swing game. If they split in Texas, we go to Arizona 1-1. What do we like? How does somebody that was hurt then get thrown to a start, has the start, doesn't really do it, gets another start, still a little shaky? What do you expect from Max Scherzer?
Here's the truth. The truth is, I don't know. Here's the fact. Max Scherzer just might not be the guy he once was. Now, there are extra storylines that are involved here. For instance, where did he make his major league debut? He was an Arizona Diamondback. So seeing him go back to the Diamondbacks would be very interesting to see in Game 3. I'm looking very forward to that. But we can't sit here and pretend and look at the numbers and say he's the same guy he was in 2019. I still think he's an astonishing pitcher. I just don't think he's the bulldog guy that the whole team jumps on the back of anymore. I think he's going to be good for 3 or 4 innings, and I think that's about it. Keep in mind, before he got hurt, that month and a half off, he also wasn't lighting the world on fire then either. And if you want to go further back to his time with the Mets, quite frankly, it left a lot to be desired. I'm a big Max Scherzer fan, and I would love to see him get back to his dominant ways. I hope Game 3 is a pitching duel upon pitching duels, but the way he's been pitching, I don't see it happening. What do I expect? I expect him to get hit around again, and I expect Bruce Bochy to have another short leash. I didn't think he'd have a short leash on him in Game 7. I truly didn't. Didn't even cross my mind. I thought he was going to try to roll him out there the way he did Bumgarner in Game 7 of the World Series in 2014. Turns out Jordan Montgomery is that guy, which, by the way, if you had that on your bingo card to start this year, well done.
Exactly.
Well done.
Dave found a cool stat from you guys, your friends at MLB Network, that the Diamondbacks are undefeated in every game in the postseason. They have a steal. The Rangers lost every game at home to the Astros in the ALCS. If the D-backs get a steal tonight, are they winning Game 1?
I may have already put down a little scratch on them on the money line. I was a big fan of it. Now, again, I'm also aware a little bit of my heart talking on that one, but I do think they have as good of a shot as anybody. Like you said, the steal has been a big thing for this team. They've stole 10 bases in their previous 2 games, and I think that is their blueprint. Again, the D-backs offense is built for October because it's basically, they're the opposite of what the Phillies are. The Phillies are a team that lives and dies with the long ball, and that is a very fun thing to watch. But once they start dying with the long ball, you get what you got last year in games 5 through 6 6 last year, and you get the situation you had in 6 and 7 this year. That's just the fact. Where the D-backs, they can beat you with the long ball. Guess what? If any of them get on base, doesn't matter. That means that runner's on second base now because he's stealing second. And if that man's Corbin Carroll, he's stealing second base more than once. Not to mention Christian Walker went ahead and stole a base the other day, completely uncontested. Trust me, they running.
And it wasn't defensive indifference either. That was a stolen base.
Yep.
It was amazing. Total's 8.5 tonight. Total's probably going to be 8.5. It might be 9, depending on who the pitching matchup is, but most likely 8.5 is going to be where most of the games are. You expecting an offensive series with games more shading towards the over? Or are we expecting really lockdown pitching, old school defensive battles, moving runners, bunting again, different things like that, and unders? Which way you leaning?
Tonight, I'm leaning towards the under. Tonight, I absolutely am. I think Nady Eovaldi's going to come out and be the dominant pitcher that he actually has been when he's been healthy this year. And I do think Zach Gallen's going to get right. Not to mention, it might not even be that both guys have their stuff. These are two very good seasoned ball players. I think there's going to be a lot of jitters out there. As much as I'm loving, and by the way, I want to make this abundantly clear. I love this World Series matchup so much. You're giving me completely new blood on both sides. Yes. Both of these teams are a blast to watch. You kidding me? The first time in like 5 years without the Dodgers or the Astros in the series?
Thank goodness.
Let's go. You kidding me? I want to see stolen bases. I want to see some Ks. I want to see how lively that stadium can be because we have seen a World Series in that stadium, just not with the Texas Rangers. Hell, I'm a card-carrying Democrat. I can't wait to see W throw a strike right down the middle to start the day. Let's go. It's World Series time, baby.
I totally forgot they've played a World Series in this ballpark. That's absolutely true. Just not with the Rangers in action. Right. That's really cool. The bullpen for the Rangers is what worries me about any under. And I took the over 8 last night because I'm very concerned how many innings Eovaldi goes. And then this bullpen is an absolute roller coaster ride. Can the Rangers win the World Series with a pen that every time they go to it, they don't know what's coming out of it?
They can, but I am worried about it. Of all the things in this team, the biggest weakness I think that's on the field is the Texas Rangers bullpen. It's not that they're not capable. They're very capable. It's more that they're taxed. There hasn't been a single game this October that Leclerc hasn't had to pitch in. I don't know how that guy's arm hasn't fallen off. I truly don't. It's astonishing. This is a team that needs their starters to go deep. And tonight, Nady Eovaldi, I expect him to go deep. I really do. And I expect Gallen to go deep-ish. I think he's going to end up getting pulled in the 6th, depending on the pitch count and depending on how the pitching staff lines up with the offense over there with Texas. Because you keep in mind, Lovello, he is going to play the numbers. And those of you that are bad about him playing the numbers, they're in the World Series. Stop being mad.
Good point.
Talking about going deep, you really do get the show. I mean, there was a lot of going deep there. And we're talking about something else. I mean, Pete Roll, you heard it. You didn't laugh. I was listening, and I'm like, did he just say it 3 times? Cody Decker goes deep. I remember I saw you taking BP at Dodger Stadium. You could still go deep. Let's go deep here. All right? Let's go deep with this. World Series MVP discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's a lot of options.
There are.
But are there really a lot of options? When you look at this market, I mean, it's top heavy, is it not?
It is.
We got Seager and Garcia at the top. One of those two probably are going to win it if Texas wins it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Marte and Carroll for Arizona, and one of those two are likely to win it if Arizona wins it. If it ain't them, who else is it? My statement earlier this week was it could be one of tonight's starters who's going to get 3 opportunities to go. It's been a while since we got a starter who's done that. I like Moreno, the catcher. Okay, that's a guy that I'm looking at that has a pretty high price because he's going to hit in the middle of the lineup. He's going to come up with opportunities with Marte and Carroll on, and you pile up those ribbies, run producer like you were back in the day. Who you like for World Series MVP, C-Deck?
It depends on who you think's going to win, obviously, because you mentioned the names on the Rangers sides that are the obvious ones. Obviously, Seager is going to be a guy. He's already won a World Series MVP in that building, just in a different uniform.
Right.
But, man, if it's going to be the D-backs, there is a name that I feel like has been the most underappreciated name in Major League Baseball this year, because the guy hit 40 home runs. The guy is their power hitter. Christian Walker is going to go off. If he goes off in this week, the D-backs are winning the World Series. I truly believe that, because we already know Corbin Carroll's going to get on base. We know Ketel Marte is going to get on base, because Ketel Marte has been on base in every game in his playoff life. Who's going to knock his ass in? Christian Walker.
That's right.
I don't mind it. Where are you on higher? Are you a Creed guy? How do you feel about this throwback to the 90s wannabe Pearl Jam ripoff band?
So I don't like Creed. At all.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
But I appreciate what's happening in Texas with this Creed thing. So here's my answer. I don't know if you know this, but the D-backs do have a song that they play when they win. It's the worst song ever created. It's called "We Back the D-backs." It's a real song.
Really?
It's a real song. It's a real song.
Oh no!
That's inside school. That's inside baseball right there. That's
find it and play. Waste 2 minutes of this show and just play it and react, and you will either thank me or set out a hit to kill me, because it is awful. This is my thought process on this, because, you saw it over in Philly. They got Dancing with Myself or whatever that song is.
Rip off the Red Sox?
Yeah, you're seeing Creed going crazy right now over there in Texas. If we're talking Creed, D-backs need to one-up their asses. I'm telling you, get Chad Kroger down there, and I want him playing any Nickelback jam possible. I'm talking they win. I want to hear Rockstar. I want to hear that song, If Nobody Died. I want to hear How You Remind Me. Is it a depressing song? You bet your ass it is. I don't care. It'll fire me up when we're holding that commissioner's trophy. Let's go. Snakes alive.
Let's turn a quick minute and go to football, because I know you're a Raider fan.
Why?
Oh.
Why would you do this to me?
I'm
having a good day.
Because listen, you're rolling. I gotta get the take, because we live in Vegas. This football team is an absolute mess. They just lost to the Bears, and a guy from Shepherd University, Bajan, just went to school, took them to school. Now they got to go play the Lions on Monday night. Have you put away all the black and silver stuff? I don't look at that face. It hurts. The pain. You can visually see the pain on your face.
Game 3 of the World Series is Monday night. Cannot wait, baby. Woo!
We asked that question on the show today already. We said, what happens in game 3? You're going to watch football, or you're going to watch baseball? I think most people here in Vegas are going to be watching baseball.
Tell them, C-Deck.
What football? My embarrassing fandom, it makes me, every time Sunday rolls around and I put on my Janikowski jersey, and yes, that is real. I have a Janikowski jersey. You know why? Because he's been the only positive, productive player the Raiders have had in the past 20 years. I can't stand this team. I hate that I'm forcing myself to continue to live through this daily and weekly nightmare. They're the worst 3-win team I ever. They're embarrassing. I'm embarrassed every Sunday. I should wear a plastic bag over my head and not to cover my face, only to asphyxiate myself to end this nightmare that I've been dealing with since I was a small boy. I have yet to see anything. Listen, I got to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime, the most embarrassing Super Bowl in the history of Earth. That Super Bowl was so bad. The XFL literally started. The first iteration of the XFL started the next week. Everyone was freaked out because the Raiders were so bad. They thought the XFL was going to take over. Luckily, it didn't, but I'm just saying that's how bad the Raiders are ever. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it, guys. I hate it. Game 3, Monday night. Cannot wait.
One quick one, last one for me when it comes to Vegas baseball. Will the A's work here? When the A's come eventually, whenever it's going to be 2027, 2028, whenever it's going to be, you've been here enough. Do you think baseball works in Vegas?
Yes, I do. I really, really do. I think it's a city that's a constant commuter city. As someone that loves frequenting this strip, you're telling me you put a baseball stadium in that strip, and it just happens to be that the Angels are in town or the Rangers are in town. Whatever it is, I'm going to go catch a game. I want to see that stadium. It's going to be part of the Vegas culture. If the Golden Knights can succeed there, you better believe the A's can. However, I really hope the moment they get there, John Fisher sells this team, because I do not think any team that is owned by John Fisher will ever be successful. Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
we were at dinner last night, and someone who knows them well basically said that exact same thing, that Vegas people need to not buy the hype that Fisher's going to spend money when he comes here.
No. Listen, this is a business investment as far as I can tell. Until I'm proven otherwise, I'm assuming they're going to move over to Vegas. His IP, the intellectual property of the Oakland A's, will quadruple because it's no longer Oakland and it's now the Vegas A's. Everyone's going to be buying the merch, and all of a sudden, all his $2 billion has now been turned into $3.5 or $4 billion, and he'll immediately sell the team. It would be the best thing to happen for everybody. The only thing I have questioning is, why is Major League Baseball letting him do this?
That's a very good question.
The ballpark
should be an expansion team.
The ballpark, amen to that. Yes, that's when the NBA comes here and does an expansion team, you'll see the difference.
Yeah,
because the Raiders, it's the problem the Raiders have. Golden Knights were born here. The Raiders were not.
Yep.
And the Raiders are also the Raiders, which is helping no one.
Well, that's yeah, all right. I don't want to mention the Raiders again. Last one for me, sir.
Yes.
One, you got to tell the people where they can find you and all your new shows and different things that you're doing back east and all of that. But number two, I'm gonna end you with this as far as baseball goes. The show's called Bostonian versus the Book. It's right there. It's for everybody to see. Is Ohtani going to the Red Sox? Because this guy, if the show will go to the next level, where in the hell is Ohtani going to go? If you say Red Sox, you'll have a permanent spot on the show. Don't say Red Sox, please. Don't say it.
So would you like me to lie to you and say Red Sox?
He's not going to the Red Sox.
He's not
right?
going to the Red Sox, guys.
Are you sure?
If I'm proven wrong, I'll come right here and say, guys, I was wrong about the entire thing.
Remember, he's a New Balance guy.
Oh, stop. Then he's going to Baltimore? Come on. What are we doing?
He's going to Boston.
It's in Boston.
New Balance headquarters are across the street from TD Garden.
I thought they were a Baltimore company.
No.
That's a New England Boston company.
Oh, well, that's not going to make any difference. Who cares if they're in Boston?
Oh, all right.
No.
He's in the whole brand. New Balance baseball. Who else reps New Balance baseball? Not many.
Actually, a lot of guys rock New Balance.
New Balances are good.
New Balances are actually very good. They're very, very good spikes. But I will tell you this: no, if he goes to the East Coast, it's going to be because somebody paid him an outrageous amount of money. Of course, the names that are going to be in there is Boston, the New York Yankees, and the Mets. I think of those three teams, the team that's most likely to get him would be the Mets. But I don't see him coming to the East Coast. I really don't. In fact, I don't see him leaving the West Coast. He's definitely not going to be an Angel. I'd be shocked, and I truly mean this. I'd be shocked if he was not either in Los Angeles playing for the Dodgers, because there's a reason they didn't sign two Turners and they let a Cody Bellinger go. And they've been penny pitching. They're ready to go to sign him. And also the San Francisco Giants lost out on Judge. They lost out on Correa. They're not going to miss out on a third guy. And they have money to spend, and they will spend as much as the Dodgers will. So in my eyes, I'd be shocked if he's not a Dodger or a Giant. But if he's somewhere else, I would love to be surprised.
Not Seattle. No way.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening. And it's not because of him. I don't see the Mariners spending $400 million plus on a guy. I just don't. But they proved me wrong that time they signed Cano to $275 million when they did. So quite frankly, they have the money to do it. I just don't see it happening. But hey, man, I love the Mariners. I want the Mariners to win. They should have been a playoff team this year. Yeah. You get Ohtani, they're a playoff team, and they're winning that division by 5 games.
Cody, great stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. Enjoy game
where
one tonight,
where do they find the show?
Yeah.
Tell them where they find the show, please.
Well, you can find the new show, Beadle and Decker, and that is myself, Cody Decker, and the legendary Michelle Beadle, noon to 3 Eastern, every single day, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82. We are Mad Dog's lead-in, and no, I had no idea whether or not he was retiring the other day. I swear to God. I literally sat there looking at the door at 2:59 going like, am I doing another 3 hours? And no one's telling me.
Right.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. It's such a great time. Michelle is the greatest. Mad Dog is the man. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I am. And please check us out if you can. Call into the show, make fun of me, tell me I'm an idiot for rooting for the D-backs who were in the World Series like I told you they were going to be.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
you
in this
next
business because of Christopher Russo. So I'm a huge fan of
Me
Chris.
too.
So
Legend.
it's really cool. Cody, thank you, man. This was awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
Really
C-Deck.
All right. D-Max,
Cody.
stay alive.
Let's go.
Cody Decker joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Great stuff with him.
man.
That was a lot of fun to get him on.
Excellent.